Good morning, it's Toraph Moses. It's Saturday, July 25th, 2020. A beautiful Saturday morning here at East Harlem Pond. I'm under this beautiful dryad. He shelter me from the sun. And we'd like to do a brief blessing. We bless this sacred space and all of its inhabitants with unconditional love, harmony, and balance, and most importantly, to perpetuate positivity. Thank you. There's a mockingbird over there and some catbirds singing. So we're going to be conducting another drawing with Toraph Moses. To introduce my tools, I have my Lumerian quartz, which is this. I have a seashell that I acquired from the beach recently. My piece of amber, piece of selenite, and a pebble of shungite. And of course my pen and ink on paper. So we're just going to take this time to ask true benevolent source and the people of the Toraph to monitor and safeguard this drawing session, as well as protect us from any interferences such as parasites that spy and siphon energies. We'd also like to ask to sample the element of the sun, the air, and water, and Mother Earth, and we will create a dome shield of 4 elements to reinforce this protection and barrier against anything negative. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to take a moment to call on any true benevolent elementals or galactics that would like to participate. There's a squirrel that's hanging on a branch. I don't know if you can see it, but it's so amazing. His fur is black and he's eating a nut. That is so cool. So you see him? Just dangling on that branch. Very confident. Okay. So I'm just going to call on any true benevolent elementals again. They would like to participate. Please show yourself, reveal yourself to us by sharing your heart space. Oh, I got a lot of heart spaces. As soon as I say it, sometimes they all pop up. It's like a heart murmur. You get a little sensation in your heart or your gut. Okay, so let me just call on a specific being and focus on one. Oh look, there's a chipmunk on a leaf litter over there. So I'm just going to call on any spirits, see if I see anything in my mind's eye. Well, this squirrel is getting my attention. So obviously I noticed him when I first walked up this hill, and now he's showing off by his acrobatic skills. So maybe this is a good opportunity to draw. Maybe there's an elemental nature spirit inhabiting him, or let's see. Sometimes when I just start drawing, images come up. See that catbird? The reason why they're called catbirds is because they sound like they're meowing. That's actually their singing. They're calling a female. Oh, it fell. Or maybe jumped. I hope it comes closer. That would be so cool if it did that. We're having a nice little breeze coming about. I've always wanted to come on top of this mountain, but there was always someone already seated here, and it's a popular spot for picnicking and that sort of thing. But I knew recently I encountered being a dog hybrid changeling humanoid type, canine humanoid type, but they're changelings and they could shift and morph into other animals. I met him on another side of the park, and he did mention that they could shift into squirrels and wolves and other small birds. So that was interesting, but I don't know. That squirrel wasn't him. This squirrel is something else. But the squirrel was the catalyst for this illustration that I'm making now. So before I continue this drawing of this interesting being that resembles something furry and humanoid, I like to ask it by showing your heart space with us. If you're positive, share your heart space. If you're positive, show your heart. Okay, thank you. One more time, just to make sure. If you're positive, share your... Okay, thank you. Okay. So, what is your name? Oh, the squirrel moved over there now. And the catbird is saying, get out of the tree. Oh, she has a net. That's a female catbird. And she says to get out of her nest because he's right here now, the catbird. Catbird, why are you so mad? Here he is. Yeah, I know. And he's chilling now, the black. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, there is a pair. They might have a nest around here. I hope I'm not near your nest, am I? Or is it that squirrel that's in your nest? It's okay, don't be scared. See, that's a male and that's a female, I believe. Oh look, it's sat next to us. Hello. Well, catbirds tend to be very friendly towards humans because I've noticed every time I come here, a catbird is always near me. And I do love cats, maybe that's why. Okay, going back to this channeling. So, what is your name, please? Well, I might as well be speaking to that squirrel over there. What's your name, squirrel? Now he's leaving. Here's another cat bird. Okay, what's your name? EEtic. His name is Eric, with a K. He said it's close enough. Eric, or EEtic. Oh, hello, EEtic. Or Eric. So what are you? He would be considered a fae. But he's also a changeling. Oh, another changeling. Oh, was that you? Is that you over there in that tree? Let me make sure. Are you that dark squirrel? Yes, that's him. He's the squirrel. That is so cool. And that squirrel is still here. He's on that tree now. Oh look, a chipmunk. Okay. So, EEtic, show me the rest of your body, please. Hello, catbird. Well, when I first came here, everyone just ran away because they perceive all humans as danger and annoying. The fairies and the animals. There's two of them now. And oh, you have a sash. Oh, I'm feeling that you're young. How old are you? He's a teenager. Oh, the other Sweet, the hybrid canine humanoid changeling, was also a teenager. And you're a changeling. And what do you morph into? He says a squirrel. Catbirds. Oh my gosh. That's so cool because I see so many catbirds right now. And chipmunks. Whatever, however you spell it. Yeah, that's a chipmunk. They go chip. Yeah, that's the chipmunks. Was that you talking through the chipmunks? He's like, he's that squirrel over there. He's looking at me. And the chipmunks that's chirping is another one of his kind. That is so cool. That is so super cool. And then he has this belt. That's his sleeve. And this is his other arm. And the sleeve, like this. So he has humanoid appendages such as fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They look like wings. They're not wings. I just didn't draw the hands properly. And he has this long robe, almost kimono-ish, and this long sleeve on the other side of the arm. So one arm has short sleeves, and then another arm has a longer sleeve. And he's furry. He has fur all over his body and his hair. So this is his sash. What color? I see there's 2 colors. What are these colors? Before we get any more details on them, I'd like to ask True Benevolent Source and the Toraph to audit this being or vehicle known as Toraph Moses, as well as this being over here known as Eric or EEtic. Oh look, he's moving. Thank you for that audit. And the squirrel is still here, and then the wind is just blowing, so that just confirm that these are benevolent beings. And I'd like to ask Eric to share some information with us. So how tall are you? Well, before you answer that, what are these colors of your sash? Okay, I got pink and purple, like a royal purple, and then this is kind of like a hot pink. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then he has his belt, and it's knotted belt, and then it also has colors on it. So what's the colors on this belt? He said it's just a basic belt. It's brown. Okay. So nothing too amazing about that. So I'm sorry if I made your hands look like feathers. And so he has thin lips. He kind of has that squirrely, humanoid looking nose. And then he has big eyes. Yeah, he says that there's a lot of catbirds around here because he's right now, a lot of his people are here. Okay, so what brings you to this space? Are you in this specific space in another dimension? He says that is true. However, the space that I'm occupying is actually like an aviary, not an aviary, like a dome space inside of a park with a dome around it, and then these marble architectures like arches and tapestries are also inside of this garden space. So they're like, are you in a council meeting? Because I see a lot of different beings and other beings of your type there. He says yes. I see it's like all white marble, and it's like this elaborate garden with all these interesting plant life and tree life, and there's like structure in this kind of spiral. The seating areas are like marble and it's structured like a spiral, like a coliseum, but it's a spiral, and different beings are seated, and then in the center of it is someone speaking, but I can't see who it is. And he's seated in one of these, and that's why I see him, because where I am, let's pretend we're at the path on the trail. Let's say that's a podium of some sort and a speaker speaking on it, and then like all bunch of, like, from the lawn all the way up to this hill are like spiral marble seats, and he's on the top, the very top of the seating area. That's why I'm able to see him. He's still over there climbing on that tree. Oh, that's so cool. So he's in a council meeting right now. So what dimension are you at this time? What dimension, please? He says up in the upper 5th dimension, 6th dimension. So you're between the 5th to 6th, high 6th, high 5th to 6th dimension. Okay. And you're a council member. You're a councilman. And you're a male. And you're a teenager. And that's interesting. Here in our Earth world, teenagers are not allowed to be like politicians and whatnot. But that's interesting that you are so young. So if I would say he would be around 17 to 18 years. That's how old he is. Am I right? Yes. Thank you. So what led you to visit me today? He says he heard the call, and on all the animals that were here before I scared them away, waited to see who I was with their heart space, and they used their discernment skills to see what was I all about and my intention, and they were satisfied when they saw my crystals and stones. And that's when they all started coming. And it's so true. Once I pulled out my crystals, I noticed the air started acting differently, and all the beings started acting differently. His hair is like a pompadour, a very popular style here in our dimension. It looks like a pompadour slash mohawk. So what are you in terms of a race? Are you like fae folk, fairy folk, or are you a hybrid experiment? Let me make sure. I got a yes when I said that. So, are you a hybrid experiment? Yes. They were created a long time ago here on the earth, and they have many codes of mammalian and canine and feline with fairy mixed in. So you're a hybrid. You're a multitude of things. Yes. But he says throughout the ages they were just known to be just forest changelings. So you don't know what they are until they show themselves, because they could be, as mentioned, squirrels, catbirds, chipmunks. And that's only for their defense and their protection. But this is their default look. They're humanoid looking, very mammal-like. They resemble us between a squirrel and a chipmunk. Like his chipmunk fur is very much like the fur of a chipmunk, very like a chestnut brown or a rust brown. You know, different hues of sand colors, whites, blotches of dark browns, like that. Well, the chipmunk just left. Okay, that is so cool. Well, I do appreciate you showing us who you are. If you don't mind sharing, what are you guys debating on, or in terms of the council presentation? Waiting for him to reply. He says they're waiting for the great transition to occur, and they have protocols in place that they're going over, and that's all he can say about it. He says they're not waiting for the transition to happen, it's already happening. However, it's been accelerated during these great times of energy waves. More people are becoming more sensitive to these waves, and their genetic codes are awakening, which is moving along this transition into our perceived 5D reality. Okay, that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing your look, your mind. Do you have anything you would like to say in terms of a status quo that you would like to share to humankind at this time? He says to be patient with ourselves. He says, learn more about yourself. He says that don't get entangled with false narratives, false hopes. You have already transitioned into higher planes. This great transition that's occurring is to get your mind to this perceived 5D consciousness and timeline. Well, thank you so much for that comprehensive words of wisdom and thoughts, and we will like to invite you sometime soon again, and we would like to commune with you again. You are so handsome. I love your hair. It's very rock star, and I'll see you soon. Bye, Eric or Etik.